Yo, what's up guys? Cobes here from PFT. I recently posted an at-home / hotel kettlebell workout focused on strength. Today we're going to be focusing on stability and skill development using the same kettlebell. So you don't need much equipment here. If you've got a light kettlebell, then you might want to slow your reps down and or do more reps and more volume over time. Okay, if you've got a heavy kettlebell like I do, I've got a 24 kilo kettlebell, so I'm going to be typically going heavier, so it means I'm going to do less volume. So I'm going to go into a Turkish getup, then I'm going to go into a windmill, then I'm going to go into a single leg Romanian deadlift. If I've got the capabilities and capacity, then I'm going to add a row into the single leg Romanian deadlift. Let's have a look at how that session is going to work. Now, the first exercise is the Turkish getup. I go through a complete demonstration explanation of how to do the Turkish getup on my YouTube channel, so go and search for that. I'm not going to go through this in a whole heap of detail. I'm just going to go through the movements. But point to note, we're looking at creating stability through all the joints throughout the entire body as we move from the ground to an overhead position or a standing position and then back down. Okay, what I'm going to do here is 2 reps on each side. So I'm going to do 1 on the right, 1 on the left, 1 on the right, 1 on the left. Again, if you've got a lighter kettlebell, you might want to bump those numbers up and you might want to hit anywhere from 6 to 12 reps on each side. Setup is important. I want right arm loaded, right leg in. I'm going to roll, punch, roll, punch. Forearm stays vertical. From here, press into the right foot, up onto the left elbow, onto the hand, hips go high, kneeling position, arm stays locked out, weight through the heel, drive it up. Reverse that back down, weight stays through the heel, knee, hand, hip, elbow, roll down to the back. Same thing on the other side, left arm loaded, left foot loaded, elbow, and hips, knee, kneel, stand, heel stays down, reverse that back down, lock that arm out, knee, hand, hip, elbow, and back. Next up, I'm going into my windmill, which is an excellent exercise for focusing on shoulder health, shoulder function. We're essentially looking to keep our arm locked out, stabilized overhead as we hinge and rotate. So working through the hips, working through the core, and then the shoulder is loaded as we go through this rotation of the shoulder. It should move free. It should move without any clunk or anything like that. I'll give you some alternatives if there is some pain, if there is some discomfort, if your shoulder doesn't move correctly. All right, so kettlebell swing position, feet outside shoulder width, toes slightly turned out. I'm going to snatch up. If you don't have a snatch, clean, then press. Now, hips go back. I'm going to rotate my chest to the same side arm. Okay, my right arm reaches down between my toes. If I can, this left shoulder, nice and slow. Let that shoulder move free. This left shoulder stays vertical and rotates. Nice and slow, make it smooth. I can increase range of movement. Place my hand flat on the ground. All right, if I'm struggling to get that range, my adductors are tight, my ribs are tight, or my obliques, sorry, I'm getting some issues in the shoulders, I might hinge back, reach the hand down, and once I get to this point, just reach across, come back, stand tall. All right. From the side, hips go back, I hinge, I rotate through the trunk, shoulder stays vertical, get as much range as I can here, nice and slow, pause, allow that shoulder to move free. I've got a heavy kettlebell, so I'm going to be doing 4 reps here. Again, if you're lighter, you might slow those reps down, 3 seconds down, 3 second pause, 3 seconds up, or get some extra weight in, extra reps in, sorry. It's not about how many reps you do, it's about how good the reps are that you do complete. My final exercise is my single leg Romanian deadlift. So I'm gonna go right leg loaded, left shoulder load. So we've got to think when we're walking, right hip works with left shoulder, left hip works with right shoulder. What I don't want to do is plant my right foot, have my right arm loaded, because very easy to create poor movement. So I want to load my right foot, right hip, left shoulder. This is going to make me work hard on anti-rotation. All right, so a couple of options here. Deadlift up, right leg's loaded, right shoulder's loaded. As I hinge forward, pivoting at the hips, this kettlebell and gravity is going to try and pull my shoulder forward. All right, I need to counteract that and keep that shoulder blade down and back. Right arm's going to pop out for a little bit of stability. I'm going to try and keep my hips level and my shoulders level. I'm active here, I'm not shrugging up, pulling my shoulder blade down and back. My lats are firing. Stabilize, balance. There's one. Again, nice and slow, create that stability and tension from the right foot up into the right hip, transfer across the lower back into the left shoulder. Vice versa when we go into the other side. Load the left foot up into the hip, across the back, right shoulder. All right, so there's the first option. Second option is if you have that stability, then you can add a row. This is what that is going to look like. Deadlift up, always good technique. Then I'm going to hinge, left side loaded, right side loaded. If I've got that stability there, then I pull my wrist towards my ribs, nice and slow. This is a hard exercise. I'm loaded one side, lower body, one side upper body. My core is having to work super hard to counteract that rotation. So I'm working on anti-rotation. There's an advanced option. For a beginner option, you can just simply go single leg, body weight loaded. Hold this position. Similar to what I spoke about in yesterday's session or the other day's kettlebell session, you can simply slow the reps down, get some isometrics, pause in that bottom position to increase time under tension and increase difficulty. So let's talk about different options for loading. If I'm going to break those individual movements down into their own components or own portions of the session, then I might do 5 sets of 5 Turkish get-ups on each side. Then I might go with maybe a minute and a half rest if I'm going heavy. Then with my windmills, I might go 4 sets of 10 each side, roughly moving slow, roughly looking at about a minute's rest in between. Then when I go into my single leg Romanian deadlifts, I'm probably going to do 12 to 15 reps there, and I might reduce that rest period down to 30 to 45 seconds. All right, what I'm going to do, I've been practicing these movements for a long period of time. My skills there, so what I'm going to do is link these movements together into a little bit of a kettlebell complex. So I'm going to go into 1 Turkish get up, 3 windmills, then I'm going to go into 5 single leg Romanian deadlift with the row. Finish on the down portion of the Turkish get up. All right, then I'm going to go across to the other side. I might do that 3 to 5 times. Okay, keep it very simple, make movement look good. In the next video session, I'm going to be taking through a conditioning based session using just that single kettlebell. Let me know what you guys want to see next. Guys, crazy times that we're living in right now with a lot of people in isolation and self-quarantine. So I'm going to be pumping out training sessions focusing on strength, stability, skill development, speed, power, endurance, conditioning using minimal equipment. I've got kettlebells, I've got TRXs, I've got furniture glide boards, or furniture sliders, sorry. I've got a skipping rope, I've got a lacrosse ball and a TRX or set of rings, some sort of suspension trainer, okay. Set of bands. If you've got that stuff, I'll be able to put together a shitload of workouts for you guys. If you don't have that stuff, okay, try and grab some of it as you know, the most amount of that as possible. You only need like 5 to 6 pieces of equipment, okay, and I'll be able to get you through the next couple of months fairly easy, focusing on good quality movements and solid strength and conditioning adaptations. Guys, I am an ambassador for Swiss 8, which is a veteran-owned and developed app that allows people to schedule and structure in the important things of their lives. Looking at 8 pillars of health and wellness. The app is called Swiss 8. At Instagram is at SWISS.8. Go and check them out. Facebook, Swiss 8 as well. And they have an app on the App Store, Swiss 8 app. So go and download that. The boys were recently in Thailand. We filmed a heap of content which we put onto the app. The app was initially targeted towards helping veterans and first responders going through the transition period into civilian life. But that's actually changed with the current climate. The boys have started releasing that to the general population, general public. So go and download the app and start scheduling in those 8 pillars of health and wellness. So we're looking at nutrition, health, fitness, sleep, minimalism, meditation, etc., etc. Point to note though, please don't go and give them shitty reviews and stars. That app is still in the testing stages. It's not supposed to be released yet. They're doing people a favor by allowing that app to be downloaded and used to help people get through these trying times of self-isolation and quarantine and things like that. So if you do have any feedback for those guys, please shoot them a message on their website, swiss8.org, or go into their Instagram or Facebook pages. Please don't leave shitty five-star shitty reviews. For now, okay, let them iron out all the bugs and all that sort of stuff. Provide positive feedback. Okay, they're doing you a favor, so don't be an asshole.